Ready?
So you said you're looking at some point for separation.
Yes.
Two quarterbacks and the rest. Without naming names, do you feel you reached that point?
Yes. Yep. I see some stuff that I really like, and it's not. It means the other guys are doing poor. There's just some guys that are stepping up in situations, not perfect. Don't get me wrong, like not doing everything perfect and really making some really poor decisions at times. But I mean, I see some good stuff out of a couple guys that I'm very impressed with and excited about.
So does that mean that the rep distribution is going to start to change?
It will. Probably the last two practices might. Yep. Wow, you're going to try to pull me in there like that. I am not willing to say anything right now at this moment about that, but we'll have some more information for you after the spring's over.
As far as the offseason goes, as far as, I mean, obviously Jade is more slide and build. What is realistic for him to put on weight muscle-wise to get ready?
It's a good question. I just talked to Coach Joe Conley about that the other day, and now that I'm getting up there in age, I can't remember what he said. So, but no, I think that 10 pounds probably is totally realistic. I really do. He's already gained, I think, 10-ish, so maybe somewhere around there, 8-ish to 10 since he's been here. So, I mean, you know, you're looking at possibly from when he came in until the start of the season, he could be 15 to 20 pounds heavier, which is great, and that's a good pace to be on.
I think he's listed at 180 right now. Is he around 180?
You know how rosters are.
Coach, what do you think about just how the receivers are coming along this way?
You know, I'm hard on those guys because, you know, of my past coaching, and I am really hard on them. I love them, and what I seen is we only got 3 scholarship players going, you know, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and so the rest of the guys are guys that are not on scholarship and really trying extremely hard to get a scholarship. And working towards that. And, you know, when you have that and you got inexperience at quarterback and then you got inexperience at wide receivers, you're going to have days like we saw today. But here's what I'm impressed with is, man, like I said, I'm hard on those guys, and, man, they just bounce right back. Yes, sir, let's go, and jump right back in. They fail, and then they get right back up and they try again. So, you know, the thing that I could say about them is just I love those guys. You know, I was a former walk-on. I get the life. It's not easy. It's hard. The expectation level, sometimes you live up to the perception of others, which I'm trying to teach them that's not what you should do as a walk-on. You should walk out there believing you're the best football player that's ever lived. And that's their mindset that they need to have. And so that's just what I expect out of them. And so it's going to be a process. I'm very pleased, though, with the attention to that they're trying to do.
Frank Darby, in particular, he's got such a big play capability. If he can kind of just broaden his game out a little bit more, how's he doing?
That's exactly right. There was a day that Frank had a couple. I can't remember. You guys might remember. He had a really good one-on-ones, and it was really good. And when Frank gets that confidence. And he relies on his quickness and his speed and has a good pre-snap thought process of what he's going to do when the ball is snapped, then he's at his best. It's when, and all players are like this, he's just got to learn as a young guy that focus needs to happen on every single snap of football. And, man, it is so hard. It seems like to me, with the emergence of Fortnite, and stuff like that, but it's just so hard for the kids to just maintain and lock that focus in for an extended period of time.
To kind of piggyback off that too, how do you feel that in the secondary, a little more veteran, but the walk-ons, even the receivers, how are they responding to the challenge that the secondary is facing or is giving them, but also how are they improving from that?
Yeah, you know, they got our secondary. We got good numbers out there now, and you know, you got some guys with experience. Those two corners, you know, and it's you know, when they get up and they give you the hardest look you're going to see, which is press coverage, and you got an inexperienced guy and you got an experienced guy. You know, most of the time, you know, you're probably going to lose that battle, and you just got to learn. And that's where the most intricate details of a release, of a restack, how to position your body. What other routes are combined with what you're doing. If you have an inside breaking route coming back to the outside, there's a certain type of release you can't go inside, and they lose their focus sometimes on that, and that's because of their inexperience, and it's a normal process that it's frustrating as heck, but they all go through.
Now, speaking of wide receivers, I feel Bo Hoops has done in the slot.
You know, today he kind of had a little struggle today, but up till today I was extremely proud of him, and I'm still proud of him, love him. But the thing that Paul, he was a running back, and he's just not doesn't have the natural hands, you know, and so you develop his hands. And up to this point today, he had a couple drops and he struggled, and that's going to happen with his development. But up till today, I thought he's been doing great, and he was one that he went from a guy that was not really focused, because some guys aren't real focused when they're not playing all the time. It's very hard for them. And so now that Kyle is, you know, working on becoming a surgeon, and he's not out at practice, which is fine with me, is that Paul now is in the leadership role. He's like the starting H. And so a lot is demanded from him. A lot is expected from him. We've put a lot on his shoulders. And it ran together a little bit on him today. But up to this point, he's been doing really well. I've been very pleased with him.
If you could get Newsom and Humphrey healthy, you still optimistic that they can bring some stuff to the table? Just because
Yes.
of what you've seen from them in the past?
Yeah, because Ryan Newsom, so you got two guys that have elite something that they do. You have Ryan Newsom, he's the quickest guy we have on our football team. I mean, and it's not even close. I mean, he's got Julian Edelman quickness type stuff to him. His biggest thing is he's just, you know, he's been injured a lot. And I mean, you got to practice, and when he's out there and when he's fine and when he's healthy, he's going to help us. Same thing, John Humphrey's probably the fastest guy we have on our team. All right, and so you saw 2 years ago he caught what, 3 touchdowns in the spring game. So we saw what he's capable of doing, and for some reason he's just been not healthy. And so I know what those guys could bring to the table, but until that they can prove that they can be out there on the practice field over an extended period of time, then you just, you know, it's tough to like go, you know, hey, in the future we'll do this. Well, they got to prove that, and it's not their fault. It's nobody's fault, man. It just happens, you know.
It's not usual for offensive linemen to take long to develop compared to other
That's right.
positions on offense. With that being said, the rate of development of Ralph Frias from last year to this year, what do you see?
Just quickness, you know, and understanding, you know, and going against our defense now, if you don't know what's going on and have a great understanding of defensive structure, you have no shot against this defense, none, as a young, experienced offensive lineman. They never stand still. They're always moving. They're always blitzing somebody somewhere. So you learn at an early age. Now, does it impede their development a little bit? Yeah, probably, because they don't get used to base blocking a 5 technique. Double teaming a 3 technique, and then it's just all over the place. So it's going to impede. It'll help them maybe later down the road in recognizing blitzing and all that stuff, but it is tough. It's tough for their development, like your normal double teams and things like that. But the guy that I've been extremely impressed with up there is Donovan West. I mean, he's the guy right there that could. I mean, if he continues his development, he'll have a shot to play for us this year as a freshman. In some, you know, not starting right now, but you know what I'm talking about. He'll have a chance to contribute. Anybody else?
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, guys.